Good day, gentlemen. Today I'm going to change my divertor valve with GFB. Actually, the divertor valve gets a diaphragm leak when we use it for a while. Like in one of my X5, it was torn off. So that's the reason I'm changing it to GFB. This is a Chinese version and it costs only around $15. The original one is like $140 or $150. So I have installed this in my previous car also. I'm gonna do it in this one. This is N55 engine, 2011 model X5. I will show you the procedures that I have followed. I have taken only snapshot. I was not able to take video because of less space, and you need two hands to do all the process, and there is no enough space for the camera to go in. So I will show you what all tools I have used. When we use GFB, this is more reliable because it doesn't have a diaphragm. Instead, it uses a cylinder with a rubber in it. When you check online, you can see the various type of GFBs. This is the copy of the original one. Hope it will stay for longer. I did not use it for a long time in my previous car. I have installed it like 2 weeks back, so reviews are yet to come. Now, I will show you what all things we need to keep in mind, what all tools we need, things like that. You need at least 2 person to do this job. One should lay down and one should be helping from the top part. So I will list all the tools that we need. If you have tools, only you can start working on it because you cannot run in between. It will take like 2 to 3 hours to get this job done, and this is a tough job. So you need to be ready, and you should set your mind in a way that you'll be calm and doing steps one by one. Don't do unnecessary works, only do what has been mentioned in this video. Otherwise it will be difficult for you to put things back. Like hoses, it's very difficult to get it back if you take it out at any particular event. So let's do it. Let's go for the tools. I'm waiting for my slide to come in. So you see, these are the tools that I have used. Wrench, the small wrench, 1/4 inch, and T-type wrench, extensible. It's needed. If you don't have the T-type tool, you won't be able to put the hex bit. And also the other important thing is that flexible connector, that should be small. If you don't have it, it's difficult to get this job done. And for the coolant pump, you need the 12 mm Torx female bit. If you don't have it also, you cannot do this job. Other things can be done using plier or what do you say, a spanner. That can be done, but these items are mandatory. Sorry for the voiceover. It's a little bit difficult to do voiceover. That's the reason I'm just waiting for the next slide to come. Make sure you have these tools with you. Next we'll go for an overview of the turbo. I will show you how the turbo looks like. Most of you will be aware of it, but still you need to have an overall view how it is located and how it looks like to do the work properly. So next slide will be of the turbo. Yeah, you see the turbo. So you can see number 5, that's what we are going to change. Divertor valve or blow off valve, whatever it says. Actually, we are just taking it out, installing the GFB and putting it back. So we will be reusing the main unit. We will be just removing the diaphragm and putting it back. You can see the hex bolts on top. There is one on the other side which is difficult to reach and see, and that is the difficult part. That's why we are using the T tool. So this is my X5. You can see from top you have to remove the air duct in, then the aluminum rod which extends from one side to another, and also the hose which goes to coolant reservoir. That's an easy job, it's not that difficult. So you need a flathead screwdriver. So flathead screwdriver, one clip is in the front part. Just push it, and other two behind it. So just push it and pop it out. Once you pop it out, you just have to turn it and take it out. Now there is a clip on top of the hose. Just pull it and pop it out. This is 13 mm bolts. You just have to take it out. There are 4 bolts, 2 on one side, 2 on other sides. Make sure the lines going on are disconnected properly. There is a path going for the AC, gas, and the bonnet lid. Now the electrical connector of the radiator fan has to be removed. Just press both sides and take it out. It's not an issue. Yeah, you see that. Just take it out. And there are grooves. You can see left and right there are grooves, and there is a clip which holds the fan rigidly in it. So you have to press it with the top part with a flathead screwdriver and take one side out and the other side out. You can see to the right and left there are 2 hinge type. One side is hinge type, the other side is static. We cannot move it. So the right side, you mean in the photo left side, it's a hinge. Once you take it out of the groove, you just have to bend it. You can see it's movable, so bend it towards the body of the fan. That way you can take it out of the engine compartment without removing additional hoses and things like that. So you don't have to remove the hose on top which goes from the radiator to the coolant, or the big hose which goes to oil cooler. So no need to remove it, just bend it. Now we are going underneath to remove the engine cover. That's a plastic cover. You need a Phillips screwdriver for that. This is engine cover which has been taken out, and the screws are like locking screws. You just take it easily, it's not a big deal. This is the 16 mm bolts for the engine cover. See, this is what we are going to do. We need Torx 12 bit to remove it, the female one, and flexible connector. So we have taken the aluminum engine guard out. Now we will start taking off the coolant from the way. These are the bolts for the coolant which has been taken out, and you see the flexible tool. This is the socket that I have used, and the flexible connector is mandatory. It's 1/4 size, 1/4 size. This is the top bolt, just one bolt on top, which has to be reached through the fan and radiator fan area from the engine bay top. You just have to find it out with your finger and loosen it. Once you loosen it, you can remove the bolts, 2 bolts below it. That's also Torx. So 2 below and 1 above. So the below one can be done by laying down. This connector, it's for the thermostat. You just pop it out using a flathead screwdriver. Once you remove that, just remove the coolant hose, which goes on top of the U hose. There is a U hose from the thermostat to the coolant. About that, there is a hose. You have to disconnect that, which comes from the engine to a aluminum pipe to this particular pump. So you have to remove it with a 6 mm socket. So I have already removed it and moved the coolant to a side to get a little bit of space to put our T-tool with hex bit to remove the divertor valve. You see, you have enough space to put your hand in to do the job here. There will be coolant leaking when you remove the coolant hose. Now the divertor valve is visible. You see that my coolant hose is a little bit torn off, I think from my previous work. So this is the place where you have to put the T-tool to remove the divertor valve. This is just for illustration purpose. See, this should look like this, at least 30 centimeter. So I went just from top, and someone has to guide the tool hex bit to the particular hex bolts. You see that that's a black one is the divertor valve. So one bolt below and two above, one left and one right. Once you disconnect the electrical connection on it, you have to put the tool and remove these bolts out. So from this part only you can remove it easily, otherwise it will be difficult. If you use Allen keys, it's nearly impossible. So this is the divertor valve that has been taken out. You can see the yellow outer what do you call it, the o-ring that has to be kept as it, and remove the inner part. So the center part will be removed and we will install the GFP in it. So this is it, and you have to do everything else in the reverse manner. So this is the GFP. Just put everything back. Be careful. As I told you, one of you will lay down, put the divertor valve back in position and hold the bits and the hex bolts, and the other one has to tighten it from the engine bay side. It's not a big deal if you do in this way. Don't disconnect any other hoses because it will be difficult for you to get it back. Anyways, good luck, and